All right, welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going exploring Web3, the metaverse, and just the future of digital interaction.
Right, yeah.
Our guide for this exploration is Marta Maria Moga, and her book Web3 Metaverso Smart Contract Crypto Valute DOS EVEO.
Quite the title. And, she even coined her own acronym in this book,
Yeah.
DOS for Decentralized Optimization Specialist. I mean, clearly she sees this as, more than just a trend.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
a whole new way of life.
Exactly. And for you listening, I think you're here because you feel it too, right?
Uh-huh.
Like how these new technologies might change work, money, free time.
Yeah.
So we're going to break it all down, look at some examples, and hopefully spark some aha moments.
Because, whether you jump into Web3 or not, understanding it, that's going to be key.
For sure, for sure. So to kick things off, Moga actually shares this funny story. Well, funny now about how she basically dismissed Bitcoin at first.
Really?
Yeah, like what's this internet money anyway? Have you ever felt that way?
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people did.
Exactly. But she realized that skepticism was actually a clue to a bigger story, like the whole evolution of money.
Makes sense, yeah.
So think about it. What we call money has changed constantly. We started by just trading stuff, bartering.
Yeah.
Then we get metal coins, then paper representing that metal, then credit cards.
And now, well, digital payment systems everywhere.
Right. So where do these cryptocurrencies fit in?
Yeah.
Is it just the next step, or is it something completely different?
That is the big question. What makes cryptocurrencies potentially revolutionary is that they're decentralized.
Hmm.
Unlike any money before, no single authority like a bank or a government controls them. They operate on this thing called blockchain technology, which is like a big public ledger recording every single transaction.
That's a big change. So you're saying with crypto, the power shifts away from those big institutions.
Precisely. And anyone can trace the history of a Bitcoin, for example,
Oh, wow.
from when it was created to its current owner.
Okay, so we've got this new form of money running on this transparent system. No one's in charge. How does Web3 connect to this?
Think of Web3 as the internet rebuilt on blockchain.
Okay.
It's a vision of the internet where users, you and me, have more ownership and control over our data and our online experiences.
So instead of companies like, I don't know, Google or Facebook holding all the cards, with Web3, we have more power.
That's the idea. In fact, Moga outlines 6 key differences between Web3 and what we use today, Web 2.
Yeah.
First is data control. In Web 3, it shifts from corporations to individuals.
Right.
You would store your information in your own digital wallet. It'd be like a personal data vault.
So it's our data, we control it. Got it. What's the second one?
The second one is eliminating intermediaries.
Okay.
Remember those banks and platforms we talked about? In Web 3, transactions and interactions happen directly between users thanks to the blockchain and something called smart contracts.
I'm starting to like this. Less bureaucracy, more direct connection. What else makes Web3 different?
Number 3 is content creators earning more directly. So musicians, artists, writers, they could sell their work directly to fans without paying huge fees to a platform.
Cutting out the middleman.
Yeah.
Creators keep more. Okay, what are the other three differences?
The fourth one is about turning users into participants. It's not just about passively watching videos or reading stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You could potentially own part of a platform or earn rewards for contributing.
So it's less like just watching YouTube and more like being a part owner of it.
That's the idea.
Oh, wild.
The fifth difference is about trust. Since all transactions are on the blockchain, you don't have to just trust companies, you can verify it yourself.
I like that accountability.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the last one?
Web3 promotes global access. No matter where you are or your financial status, you can participate, which breaks down a lot of the barriers we have in the traditional system.
Okay, gotta admit, this is starting to sound pretty utopian, but I'm sure there are some challenges too, right?
Of course, one of the biggest is just getting people to use it.
Sure.
We're creatures of habit, and changing how we interact online, especially when it comes to money, takes time.
It's like trying to convince your grandparents to switch from a flip phone.
Yeah,
Right. But I feel like as more user-friendly things come out, it'll get easier.
I agree. And the more people see the benefits, the more they'll want to join in.
Right. Speaking of benefits, Moga has some really interesting examples of how Web3 is being used already. Let's start with the one everyone's talking about, NFTs.
Yes, non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. They've really shaken up the idea of digital ownership.
Right.
Imagine owning a unique piece of digital art, a song, or even a virtual item in a game. That's what NFTs allow.
And since they're on the blockchain, there's no question about who owns it or if it's real. It's like a digital certificate of authenticity that can't be faked.
Exactly. And it's opened up amazing opportunities for artists, musicians, all kinds of creators to make money in new ways.
It's like cutting out the record label, the gallery, all those middlemen and going straight to the audience. So cool. What are some other real-world examples of Web3?
DeFi, or decentralized finance, is another big one. Imagine lending, borrowing, investing, all without going through a bank.
Whoa.
That's the power of these DeFi protocols built on blockchains like Ethereum.
So it's peer-to-peer finance, but with blockchain built in.
You got it. And since these systems are governed by the users, it's a more democratic approach to money.
Okay, I see the appeal, and I have a feeling this is just the start.
Oh, yeah.
As more people get involved, we'll see even more creative uses.
Absolutely. This space never sits still.
Yeah.
The key is to be curious and open to what's possible.
Well said. Speaking of possibilities, let's talk Metaverse. This one has really grabbed people's imaginations. Is it all hype, or is there substance here?
The metaverse is more than hype. It's a whole digital universe we can access online.
Okay.
Think 3D virtual reality, augmented reality, online gaming, all combined where we can work, play, socialize, and even own things.
So it's like stepping into a virtual world where only our imagination limits us.
Exactly. Moga highlights 4 big metaverse platforms.
Okay.
First, there's Decentraland, a user-owned virtual world where you can buy virtual land,
I've heard of that.
build on it, create experiences.
Like, people are actually buying virtual real estate in Decentraland. Is that real?
It is. And not just individuals. Big brands like Gucci and Adidas are setting up shop because they see the potential to connect with people in a whole new way.
Wow, it's not just for fun. Companies are taking it seriously.
Yeah, they are.
What are the other platforms she mentions?
There's the Sandbox, which is more focused on gaming. You can create your own games and experiences within the sandbox.
Or anyone can be a game developer.
Exactly. And then you've got Meta Horizon Worlds, which is Meta's social VR platform for connecting and collaborating.
So not just for gaming, but for hanging out?
Yeah. It's like a virtual hangout space.
Cool. What's the last one?
Moga talks about an Italian platform called State1.io, which blends augmented reality, virtual reality, and AI. They're doing really innovative things, like in healthcare.
So the metaverse isn't just about escaping reality, but enhancing it too.
Precisely. That's what makes it so fascinating.
All right, before we move on, let's talk about one of the technologies that makes all this possible. Smart contracts. What are they and why are they so important?
Well, a smart contract is basically an agreement written in code and then stored on a blockchain.
Hmm.
They automatically do their thing when certain conditions are met. No lawyers, no banks needed.
It's like a digital contract that enforces itself.
Yeah, exactly. And this has big benefits. Security, because the code can't be messed with. Transparency, because anyone can see it. Efficiency, because it all happens automatically. And it saves money by cutting out those intermediaries.
I get it in theory, but can you give me an example? How does a smart contract work in the real world?
Moga uses the example of publishing an NFT on a platform called Zora.
Oh, okay.
Every step in that process, from connecting your wallet to setting the price, is managed by smart contracts.
So walk me through it. What happens?
First, you connect your digital wallet, which is kind of like your digital ID and where you keep your cryptocurrencies. Then, you upload your artwork or whatever you're selling and set the price and how you want to sell it. And once you sign the contract, the whole thing starts running.
So signing the contract is what kicks it off.
Exactly. It triggers the smart contract to create the NFT and put it on the blockchain, proving it's real and who owns it.
That's really neat. It seems like smart contracts could streamline so many things, not just NFTs.
Oh, absolutely. You can use them for paying subscriptions, managing access to online courses, even streamlining those big, complex supply chains.
Wow, so much potential.
There is.
So we've got blockchain, cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, digital wallets, and dApps. How does it all work together in practice?
Let's say you want to go to a virtual concert in the metaverse, like on that State1.io platform we mentioned. You'd use your digital wallet to register, buy a ticket using a cryptocurrency. Let's say it's called Gold Brick. This transaction would be recorded on the blockchain through a smart contract. Your ticket lives in your wallet, and you use that to get into the concert. You might even get rewards or more NFTs just for being there.
It's all digital, but every step is secure and transparent because of this web of technologies.
Precisely. And as this ecosystem grows, we can expect things to become even more sophisticated and easy to use.
This is mind-blowing. We've covered so much in this first part. from bartering to Bitcoin, the promise of Web3, and a glimpse into the metaverse.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
We have.
In the next part, we'll dive into how businesses are using Web3 to create new products, reach new customers, even change how they operate.
Should be fascinating.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive. We're picking up our exploration of Web3 and the metaverse, still with Marta Maria Mogo's book as our roadmap.
And this time, we're going to zero in on how businesses are figuring out this new world, even using it to their advantage.
So we've got the Web3 basics. Now, how are companies actually using this stuff to get ahead?
Well, remember immersive social commerce, shopping in the metaverse.
Oh yeah, like those virtual showrooms?
Exactly. Moga talks about buying a smart refrigerator, but virtually.
Yeah.
You're browsing 3D models, asking virtual assistants questions, even customizing it, like the color.
So it's online shopping, but way more interactive, like you're really there.
Yeah, and since it's all virtual, it doesn't matter where you actually are. You could be shopping in a Tokyo store from your couch in, I don't know, Argentina.
That's wild. What other cool shopping experiences are businesses creating with Web3?
Token commerce is getting big. Remember those company tokens we talked about?
Yeah, like loyalty points, but on the blockchain.
Right. Companies use them to reward loyal customers, offer perks, maybe encourage them to leave reviews or refer friends.
So it's a next level loyalty program, but with the security and transparency of blockchain.
You got it. Morga gives this example of, let's say, Esselunga, a big Italian supermarket chain.
Okay.
Imagine you earn Esselunga coins with every purchase. You can then use these for discounts, special products, maybe even get into exclusive events.
It's like you become a mini investor in the supermarket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Aligning your spending with companies you like and getting rewarded. It's win-win.
Okay, immersive shopping and loyalty programs are cool. What other trends are shaping Web3 commerce?
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
DAO commerce, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization Commerce, that's bringing in community ownership and decision-making.
Remind me, what's a DAO again?
Basically, a DAO is an organization run by its members.
Okay.
Decisions are made collectively through voting, all on the blockchain.
So how does that work for e-commerce?
Imagine an online marketplace owned and run by its users, not by one company.
Okay.
Using the DAO, members could vote on what gets sold, how profits are shared, even how the platform is run.
It's like shifting power away from those big corporations and giving it to the people actually using it.
Exactly. Moga gives an example of this fictional platform called DecentraShop. Imagine a marketplace for sustainable products.
Interesting.
Users decide which eco-friendly brands to feature, profits are shared with the community. It's all transparent on the blockchain.
It's not just about buying stuff, it's about supporting businesses that align with your values.
Right. Okay, so we've got immersive shopping, tokenized loyalty, and community-owned marketplaces. What's the fourth trend Moga highlights?
Yeah, what else?
Cross-reality commerce, basically blending the online and offline worlds. Imagine using augmented reality to try on clothes virtually in your own home.
Oh, like those apps that let you see how furniture would look in your room?
Exactly. But taken to the next level. Trying on clothes, customizing a car's interior, seeing a new fridge in your kitchen, all virtually from home.
So you get the certainty of real-life shopping, but online.
Right.
What about ownership?
With NFTs, you could buy a digital twin of a physical product. This could come with perks, maybe even act as proof of ownership.
Okay, so are businesses actually using these Web3 things, or is this all just talk?
Oh, it's way more than talk. Moga points out real-world examples.
Give me the highlights. Who's doing this well?
Nike's been killing it with NFTs and the Metaverse.
Really?
Yeah, they acquired RTFKT Studios and are creating virtual sneakers.
So you can wear digital Nikes in the metaverse.
Right, and they come with benefits like access to events or early access to new products. It builds community and exclusivity,
Yeah.
but all digital.
That's interesting. What other companies are going all in on Web3?
Starbucks launched their own NFT-based loyalty program, Starbucks Odyssey.
Okay.
You earn and collect stamps, which are actually NFTs. These can get you merch, entry to events, maybe even trips to coffee farms.
So it's a way more powerful rewards program.
And these stamps can be traded or sold, which adds real value.
So they've created a whole market within their loyalty program.
Clever. Any other companies leading the way? Unilever, the consumer goods giant, is using blockchain for transparency and sustainability. They track products from where they're made all the way to the store, recording it on a blockchain.
So they're showing they're sourcing ethically and reducing their environmental impact.
And customers can actually see that.
Makes sense. Okay, so big brands get it. But what about small businesses and startups? Can they use Web3 too?
Absolutely. Actually, Web3 can be really good for smaller businesses.
How so?
Well, it levels the playing field. They suddenly have access to tools and resources that used to be too expensive or complicated.
Okay.
Blockchain can help streamline their operations and cut costs.
Yeah, like we talked about with payments, contracts, inventory.
Exactly. And decentralized marketplaces give them a global reach without needing a physical store everywhere.
It's like having a global storefront, but without the overhead.
And by accepting crypto, they tap into a new market of customers who are already using it.
So Web3 removes a lot of the barriers that hold small businesses back.
Exactly. It's all about innovation.
Cool. We've seen how companies big and small are already using Web3. But let's be real, this all sounds super complicated. What are some of the challenges companies face when trying to get into this?
Understanding the technology is a big one. It's a lot to learn.
Blockchain, crypto, smart contracts, NFTs, it's like a whole new language.
It is. The good news is there are more and more resources popping up, courses, consultants, things like that.
So education is key.
Yeah.
What other challenges are there?
Well, the rules and regulations around Web3 are still being figured out.
Makes sense.
So it's a bit of a moving target.
Okay, so patience and flexibility are important.
Definitely. And security is always a concern.
Right.
Blockchain is secure, but there are still risks with managing cryptocurrencies and smart contracts.
So companies need to be careful and partner with trustworthy platforms.
Absolutely. We've talked about the challenges. Now let's get to the exciting part. What opportunities does Web3 offer businesses?
Let's hear it.
Creating really engaging and immersive experiences for customers.
Like those virtual showrooms and metaverse events we mentioned, I bet there's so much more coming.
Oh, definitely. Imagine interactive product demos, virtual tours, experiences that blur the lines between digital and physical. The possibilities are endless.
It's like next level customer engagement.
Exactly. And Web3 can streamline operations, cut costs, and increase transparency.
We talked about automating payments, contracts, and supply chains.
There's so much more. Imagine using smart contracts to automate hiring, manage intellectual property, even streamline regulatory stuff.
Wow, so much potential for efficiency.
And by embracing transparency and decentralization, businesses build stronger relationships with their customers.
So it's about moving away from those old opaque systems and being more open and collaborative.
Exactly. That's what's so exciting about Web3. It's a whole new way of thinking about business.
I love that perspective. So as companies embrace this new way, we can expect to see a lot of innovation and positive change.
I think so too. The companies that will thrive in this Web3 world are the ones that are all about decentralization, transparency, and putting their users first.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground in this second part, looking at how businesses are already using Web3, the challenges they face, and the amazing opportunities that await.
Yeah, it's quite a lot to unpack.
In the final part, we'll talk about practical steps businesses and individuals can take to navigate this new world and get ready for the future of digital interaction.
Should be insightful. Looking forward to it.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. In parts 1 and 2, we explored this amazing world of Web3, the metaverse, and how businesses are starting to find their way in it.
Yeah, we went from like the very basics of money
Right.
all the way to smart contracts and these immersive experiences popping up.
Yeah, so much to unpack. But now let's get practical. What can companies and individuals actually do to prepare for this digital future?
Well, Marta Maria Moga, our Web3 guru, she really emphasizes education.
Makes sense.
It's not enough to just know about Web3. You got to understand it.
Right, like it's one thing to know the word blockchain,
Yeah.
but it's another to actually get what it means.
It's like learning a whole new language, right?
Totally. Thankfully, there's tons of stuff out there now, like online courses, even consultants who specialize in this stuff.
Oh yeah, tons of
It's
resources.
to help bridge that gap.
But it's not just about the technical stuff. Moga also talks about building a culture of innovation in companies.
So, like, making it okay to experiment, come up with new ideas, even take risks.
Exactly. Web3 is all about disrupting things, changing how we do things. The companies that encourage that kind of thinking, they're the ones who will succeed.
Okay, education and being open to new ideas. What else can businesses do?
Moga says, start small. Don't go all in on day one.
Yeah.
Experiment with small projects, maybe do a limited NFT collection, or create a simple metaverse experience.
Tip your toes in before jumping in the deep end. Right?
Exactly. Get a feel for things, then scale up.
Smart. What else is important?
Finding the right partners. You don't want to do this alone. Look for people who really know their stuff. whether it's blockchain developers, NFT marketplaces, metaverse platforms.
Like assembling your Web3 A-team.
Yeah. And something else Moga stresses. Focus on the user experience.
That makes sense. This stuff can get complicated.
It can.
Make sure your products are easy to use, even for people who aren't super techy.
Right. It has to be enjoyable for everyone, not just the experts.
Absolutely. And of course, security is huge in this space.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Blockchain secure. But there are still risks, right?
For sure. Invest in good security and partner with providers you can trust.
So proceed with caution, but don't be afraid to explore.
That's it. It's all about balance. And remember, Web3, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
So true, especially in a world that's changing so fast. Got to be patient, persistent, and adaptable.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, we've been focusing on businesses,
Right.
but individuals have a role to play too, right? We
Yeah.
can all help shape this Web3 world.
For sure. What can individuals do to get ready for this new era?
Education is key, like we said. Luckily, there's so much info out there about Web3.
Oh yeah, tons of it.
Articles, videos, courses, podcasts like this one, all there to help you learn.
The more you know, the better decisions you can make.
And don't just read about it, actually try using Web3 stuff.
Right.
Get some crypto, use some dApps, explore those metaverse platforms,
It's like with anything, the best way to learn is by doing.
and connect with others who are into Web3.
Yeah.
Join forums, go to events, share what you're learning. It's a community.
Web3 is all about community.
It is. Find your people, learn from each other.
Any other tips for people who are curious about Web3?
Approach it with, I guess, cautious optimism. Like any new tech, there are risks, but the potential is huge. Do your research, watch out for scams, but don't be afraid to explore.
Be informed, be engaged, but don't let fear hold you back.
That's it. And remember, you have a voice in shaping all this. Get involved in conversations, join GAOs. This whole movement is being built by everyone.
It's not about just sitting back and watching. It's about creating the digital world we want.
Exactly. That's what makes Web3 so exciting. It's about empowering people and building a better future.
I love that. It's been an incredible journey diving into Web3 and the metaverse with you.
Likewise. Really enjoyed it.
We covered so much, but this is just the start, right? Web3 is always changing.
Always.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
Couldn't agree more. Who knows what amazing things are just around the corner?
The possibilities really are limitless. So go explore, everyone. The future of Web3 is in your hands.
And on that note, that's a wrap for this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this digital world.